7 days. Oh, I was going to die in 7 days. Dying in 7 days would be easy. 7 days is how long I had left to scrounge up enough cash to avoid getting evicted. I have nowhere to go. If I don't get the cash in 7 days, I was going to be thrown out into the streets. Honestly, I wish some ghost had called me to let me know she was gonna come out my TV and kill me instead. I'd rather deal with her than my landlord. And on the topic of ghosts, that happens to be at the heart of my one hope. There's been rumors that there's this house that's hiding some kind of treasure, but it's guarded by some kind of ghost. Now, normally I wouldn't pay attention to stuff like that, but unlike other urban legends, this one gets real specific. Like, as in I've got an actual address specific, and the people who supposedly check it out and vanish really are missing people. So, after work tonight, I'm going to see if I can find anything. I didn't sleep too well last night. All I can think about is how I'd survive without any place to call home. While I was on the bus to work, some idiot in a pickup cut in front and discovered that a bus can stop on a dime and also wins in most collisions. I called my manager and let him know that I'm going to be a bit late, but despite sending him a picture of the collision, he insists that late is late and he'll have to write me up. I'm not exactly sure what kind of magic they expect me to use to somehow speed up the situation, and when I arrive, I have to listen to him whine about having to do the stuff I have to at the start of every shift. Considering how often I hear him listening to various broadcasts in their cozy little office, I suspect he's more irritated on having to do actual work and is just taking it out on me. Workday's done. It's time to visit the house. There was a factory that made sweets, cookies, and crackers on Ashland Street. It's been closed for ages. You'd think if any place would be used to stash some loot, it'd be there, but my destination is a few blocks north. I hiked past empty lots filled with dead trees, along a road in serious need of repair until I reached a suburban neighborhood. I double-checked my directions. I thought haunted houses were supposed to be in nearly deserted areas, but the other homes here are nicely maintained and landscaped. As far as I know, it's the right place, but doesn't look like the kind of locale for a ghost. I wasn't expecting urban exploration, not a break and enter. The house in question doesn't even look abandoned. There's no graffiti, no broken windows, no for sale sign, and while the lawn won't win any awards, it's not terrible. God, what am I doing? The only thing that's halfway unusual are the old, thick curtains preventing anyone from looking in or out on every window. Well, almost every window. There's one on the second floor that's open somewhat. As I'm looking up, I see a pale face staring dead back at me. Before I can change my mind about the whole thing, I blink, and it's gone. It could have easily just been my imagination. If I weren't so broke and desperate, I'd turn around and go home, but I've already spent the bus fare to get here. Might as well at least knock and see if anyone does live here. As I climb up the steps to the porch, the front door quietly opens, revealing an entryway shrouded in darkness. Hello? There's no response. I try again, a little louder, but again, nothing. I absolutely should walk away, but I really can't afford to, and against all better judgment, I step inside. As I step through the doorway, I can't help but think about horror movies where the stupid protagonist wanders into some place they clearly shouldn't, and then they have the nerve to look surprised when the door slams shut and traps them. I jump as the door slams shut. Because I'm an idiot! The interior of the house is a lot rougher looking than it was on the outside. In the dim light, I can still see the inky speckled spread of black molds and patchy stains. The air has a strange damp heaviness to it. Something more than the earthy smell of rot and the stench of decay. The shades block the view of the neighborhood are very different on the inside. There's some kind of tarnished substance holding them in place. Everything is silent. I can see a stairwell going up, but the stairs also twist around down towards the basement. I could also continue deeper on this floor. I can see a doorway, but it's too dark to see anything beyond it. Whoa ho ho ho! Alright, let's check the door. I grab the handle, twist, and pull with all my might, but it doesn't give in the slightest. The thought of being trapped here makes my stomach drop, but maybe I can find a tool or something to bash my way out later. Check the shade. Whatever that black stuff is, it twitches and pulsates slightly when I get a closer look. Go up the stairs, go into the kitchen, go down the stairs. Let's go up. Let's go find a spoopy. I go up the stairs. Check the closet. The closet is empty except for an old shoebox. I pop the lid open to find a small cache of coins. Some look foreign. A few look like they could be silver, but all of them look old and potentially valuable. I don't know which coins are worth what, so I just scoop them into the inside of my jacket, as the box itself looks like it could fall apart at any time. My collection is heavy and noisy. That sounds like a bad idea. I close the closet door, and I'm about to look around for anything else when it pops open again with a click. An unnatural darkness seeps out from inside. This has to be some kind of trick or something. This is not something that happens in a nice neighborhood without someone calling the cops. The door was unlocked. Surely someone would have found this before me if it were real. Then again, this is the kind of thing you'd see in the news for sure, even if it was fake. I checked my phone. No service. Whoa! Oh! Then a worryingly large claw grips the side of the door. Nope! No! I turn and charge towards the stairs. Hopping over the railing and out the door, which is thankfully open, I run down the streets towards the bus stop. I don't think the creature followed me, but I don't pause until I think I'm safe under the streetlights. Yeah, I don't really feel the pain in my ankles until the adrenaline starts to wear off and I realize that landing was a bit rougher than I thought. When I return, I inspect my find. I don't know, some of the coins look like they could be really valuable, but there's stuff like Canadian loonies and toonies mixed in, as well as some places I don't even recognize. Yeah, I don't have enough time to seek out a buyer. I have to pawn these, but I can already tell it's not going to be enough for rent. Without any way to authenticate them, the shops won't give me anywhere close to market value. I'm out of options. Gotta go back tomorrow. I barely slept. I spent the night altercating between trying to come up with a logical explanation for what happened last night and worrying about what I'll have to face next. The thing is, there's no logical explanation, is there? If it was real, why hasn't anyone reported it? Other than stuff I hear online, I mean. You'd think the neighbors might have said something by now. At the very least, reported random people going into the house and in some instances never coming out. I don't have time to think about it right now. Gotta get to work. There's gotta be some other way to raise the cash, right? Except, no, not the time I've got left. The only way I can think of to make fast cash would be to rob someone or break into something, and I won't do that. I'm poor, but I have my principles, and I'm not going to ruin someone else to survive. The manager listening to the news loudly in his office, as it's a slow day but not dead. When it's dead, he gets so bored he tends to watch me through the security cameras instead, then comes out to make busy work for me because heaven forbid I just stand around because there's nothing to do. I could listen in if I wanted to. Latest story on business? Paranormal investigations, hell yeah. I guess I'm not the only one investigating supernatural rumors. Most of what I'm hearing are conspiracy theories about how it's actually drugs, or woke culture, or the government, although none of their explanations make much sense. The reports of mutilated corpses, names I recognize that have gone missing, and descriptions of what people have claimed to encounter, on the other hand, are hitting a little too close to home for me. Workday's done. It's time to visit the house. Just like the last time, the door opens to greet me. Alright, check the door. Shut tight like last time. Just hope you'll let me go like last time too. Check the shades. Same pulsating black stuff as before. Not touching it. Up the stairs we go. Here we go. Check under the bed. Not exactly thrilled about the idea of getting on my hands and knees on some dirty, decaying carpeting to look under a rotting bed. But it's less work and probably less disgusting than trying to cut open the mattress or pulling up the floorboards. I shine my light around to see an old wooden box. Pull it out and look inside to find a collection of sundry shinies, some coins, and a few pieces of jewelry. I'm no expert, but the coins look genuine. They feel heavy, and while they're dirty, the detailing is excellent. I'm much less sure about the jewelry. Could be well-crafted fakes, or they could be worth for a good amount. I've got no way of telling, so I just dumped the contents into my jacket pocket. As I stand there thinking about where to check next, I noticed that the shadow growing around the bed. Ah, yes. I hear the scraping sounds, something heavy and sharp digging into rotting wood. before I see the massive white clawed hand emerge from the darkness under the frame. Ah, hell nah! Bye! I turn and charge towards the stairs, hopping over the railing and out the door, which is thankfully open. I run down the street towards the bus stop. I don't see the creature follow me, but I don't pause until I think I'm safe under the streetlights. I don't feel the pain in my ankles until the adrenaline starts to wear off and I realize that the landing was a bit rougher than I thought. Next morning, I take my find to a pawn shop and I'm able to get a little over $350 for it. I really wish I could have taken it to something more reputable, but I need this money fast and it's not enough for rent. I'm out of options. Gotta go back tomorrow. I don't know what time I finally drifted off, but it was late and getting up in time for work felt like coming back from the dead. Speaking of, I have no reasonable explanation for the house other than it's haunted. Every skeptical fiber in my being has given up. Something well outside my understanding of reality dwells within that house. And I'm going to have to face it again. Tonight. God, I'm so tired. I'm physically exhausted and worn out from worrying about money. All I want is for this to end, somehow, and soon. Today is painstakingly slow. There are no customers. There's nothing to do. Clean the store. The store's already clean, but I've got nothing else to do. I resort to shelves and dust areas that I usually skip. At the end of my shift, I'm curious if my manager's going to say anything, but he never leaves the office and it's pretty clear nothing I do matters. Workday's done. Time to visit the house. Alright, check the door, shut tight, check the shade, same pulsating black stuff as before, not touching it. Let's go down the stairs. I go down the stairs. It's even darker in the basement, and my light makes a poor job of giving me any kind of vision. The air is cold and foreboding, and the smell of decay gets stronger as I reach the bottom. Each step sticks to the floor. Whoa! A single bare bulb feebly attempts to hide the morbid scene before me. What appears to be a human head floating in a tub of putrid-smelling black liquid. Next to the tub is a small table in which sit some instruments of some sort and a sack of something. The walls, floor, and ceiling are speckled with what I presume to be mold. This can't be real. As if on cue, the light flickers briefly and for a moment, I'm alone in darkness. Before I have time to panic, there's a buzzing, and it comes back to life, although I'm still not sure which is worse. Check the sack. A heavy canvas bag, tied tightly at one end with twine. It jingles as I fight with the knot to open it up. I hear bubbling to my left. The woman's severed head has riven out the ichor. Blood fills her eyes and she begins to gurgle. Nope. The rest is fuzzy until I was at the bus stop. The head didn't follow me out of the house. As for the sack, full of Canadian $1 and $2 coins, loonies and toonies. Maybe worth a couple hundred. Nowhere near enough to cover rent and not exactly what I would call a valuable treasure. Won't go very far if I'm forced to live on the street. I'll have to go back tomorrow. I posted some of my experiences online and the resulting flame war got me banned from the community. Half the people were decrying me as a liar, contributing to misinformation and superstition, while the other half wanted to know more and shared similar experiences. I did learn a bit from the resulting mess. There's a conspiracy that government is trying to suppress discussions of the supernatural, and that's why nobody's talking about it. The irony is that even if the government's not suppressing it, the moderators are, so either way, there's a grain of truth there. Some people have messaged me, urging me not to go back. The threat is real and whatever presence is in the house is trying to warn me away, but pretty soon, it will get serious, and I could disappear. Well, if I don't get more cash, my online presence is going to disappear anyway. I've decided I want it out of this life. Find a treasure or die trying, but either way, I want this to be over, and I don't care how anymore. Nothing out of the ordinary happens to my shift, but when it's time for my break, I realize I forgot to make lunch. Frick. Let's go hungry by lunch. I'm getting lunch. Even though the price of lunch is just a drop in a bucket compared to making rent, knowing I have to spend more money I don't have just sours my meal. Workday's done. Time to visit the house. Let's go down the stairs and no signs of the severed head. Basement is just as nasty smelling and clammy as last time. Also, there's a smell of black licorice, which seems oddly out of place. What? cool, clammy air washes over me as I descend the stairs. There was precious little light before, but now I'm completely reliant on my phone. The rough concrete floor crunches underfoot as I step on tiny fragments of stone. There's nothing here save for some stained box in the corner. Check the box. It stinks of mold, fetid water, and wet cardboard. In the corner is a small bag. It jingles when I touch it, so I pick it up and fiddle with the twine, keeping it closed. The light bounces off silver coins I see inside. They're bigger than quarters and have a nice heaviness to them, so I'm guessing they're silver dollars. Not really a treasure. The bag's too small to hold that many coins, and I doubt it'll cover rent. Still, I can't complain. It's more money than I've had before. I pocket the bag. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. A pair of stark white eyes peer at me from within the stain. It'd be comical if it weren't for the fact that it shouldn't be physically possible. Darkness seems to seep from the box. The shadow seems to be eating the light as it swirls and spreads. What? Ma'am? I'm so tired. God damn it! You know what? I'm not that tired! As soon as I'm clear of the house, I run full tilt back to the bus stop. See if on the streetlight I check to see if there's any signs of being followed. Doesn't seem like it. I tapped a small bag of silver dollars in my pocket. Won't be enough to make rent, and it won't go too far if I'm forced on the streets. I have to go back tomorrow. 2 days left. If I cash in what I've collected, maybe I can get an extension. Thing is, just getting an extension is delaying the inevitable. Unless I find the bulk of the loot, and soon, I'm probably gonna get myself killed just searching the house. It'd be nice to go during the day, but I can't afford the time off, and it's not like my manager's going to say, sure, you need a time off to explore a haunted house. I decided, I want out of this life. Find the treasures or die trying, but either way, I want this to be over, and I don't care how anymore. Some teens are loitering around the store. I'm pretty sure they're shoplifting. I will confront them. I'm not supposed to confront thieves, but I've dealt with scarier stuff earlier this week. There's no weapon behind the counter, so instead, I grab one of the overpriced deluxe vitamin spring brain juice waters as they're sold in sturdy glass bottles. I walk up to one of the kids and tell them coldly to leave and not come back. There must be something about the look on my face because while he tries to laugh it off, I can tell he's nervous, and they quickly leave. When the manager comes out to ask what I'm doing, I explain, and then he tells me, of course, that I'm not supposed to confront possible thieves and certainly not try to use our merchandise as an improvised weapon. Well, I don't normally bring a gun to work, so I may do. Apparently, whatever it is about my face and tone that scared the kids has an equally intimidating effect on my manager because he says it's not funny to joke like that, and next time he'll write me... Worst manager ever! What the heck? He's never said next time I'll write you up. It's always, I have to write you up. I can't wait for tonight. At least the ghosts aren't full of poo. But they'd have the balls to kill me on the spot instead. Workday's done. Time to visit the house. Right. Back into the kitchen. I go to the kitchen. The kitchen reeks of fetid water and decay. Black mold is everywhere, and brittle tile cracks underfoot. Check the sink. The sink is full with that brackish black ichor stuff. It smells absolutely terrible. Like if you took a bunch of dead rats, stuck them in a blender with water, then let it fester for a week. Looped around the faucet is the drawstring to a small bag. I pull it out, although the smell almost makes me gag. Curious, I take a look inside and something golden flicker in the light of my phone. I'm glad I brought gloves so I don't have to touch the stuff. I give the bag a little shake and a couple of coins fall into the palm of my other gloved hand. Is that gold? Like real gold? I've never handled real gold before, but the coins are really heavy for their size, even stained with ichor. I can see some intricate designs. I clean some off with a gloved finger. It's certainly shiny. I tried to bend it. It gives, so I stop. Dense, heavy, shiny. I'm no expert, but I really do think it's gold. 2 gold coins, soft enough to bend. No idea how many carats, but it's valuable, and my heart begins to pound with excitement. The treasure's real. Oh my god, it's real! Gotta be more around. I could make rent and maybe even put a dent in my debt. My thoughts are interrupted by a splash. A long black hand stretches out from the ichor-filled sink. With a wet slap, the hand slams itself onto the filthy counter, and with a sickening set of pops, an arm follows, long and twisted. Not now, I'm so close to the treasure! Maybe I can hide from it before it sees me? As I consider this, it made a splash. The rest of the creature bursts from the sink, spraying blood from the source. Then it begins to wail. Look, I know how horror movies go. I screwed around, now I find out. I'm out of time, and this is where my story ends. There's no way it's going to let me live. The creature flops to the ground and begins to crawl towards me, and I just crouch down and wait. It pauses and stares at me for a moment before scuttling closer, spreading filth as it goes. I close my eyes and wait. And then it pokes me. Not a piercing, aggressive poke. More like the kind of gentle touch you give sleeping pets to make sure they're still alive. Dude, why are you just sitting there? Why is the ghost cute? It takes me a moment to process this. Waiting for you to kill me? She grabs me by the shoulders and gives me a little shake. Dude, if I wanted to kill you, I would have done it on the first night. I thought you were pissed because I stole your gold. Oh, like gold's hard to come by. I'm having a conversation with a ghost. My brain gives up trying to process the situation and I just run with it. It kinda is. That's why it's valuable. Not for me. I just pop up and take it. Not like they can stop me. It's stolen? I mean, yeah, it's peanuts from the guy I took it from. Great. If I try to sell it, I'll probably get arrested for possessing stolen property, knowing my luck. She gives me an incredulous look and helps me to my feet. Dude, we need to talk. You look terrible. I give her an incredulous look right back. Seriously, healthy people don't just sit there and wait for some slime monster to kill them. What's been going on? And now we're here. That's been my week. Yerie. If I can't scrape together the cash, I'm going to be homeless. My job doesn't pay me a living wage, and I've not been able to get anything better. Also, it's slowly killing your mind and soul. I've been watching. You've been spying on me? You repeatedly came into my house and took stuff. Sorry. I've been going as long as I can, but everything's catching up to me. I need to find whatever treasure, if there is any, is hidden away here. Yerie, that's the ghost, gazes at me thoughtfully with all three eyes. She invited me to the kitchen, normal kitchen, for ice cream while we chatted. All this just to make rent. Yeah. For like a month before you have to do all this all over again. Yeah. She regards me sadly, her brow furrowing and closing, all but her third eye. Did you want to live with me instead? I gape at her. I'm sorry, what? Move in with me. Stop dealing with your landlord. Stop worrying about rent. Move in with a ghost. Might as well. You've been here every night. Point. She smiles. Well, what am I gonna do for food? How did you die if you don't mind me asking? Quit my job? Why do you call me dude? Why? Well, what am I gonna do for food? Don't you like ice cream? I do, but don't you have any other kind of food? Well, there's cake in the fridge, then there's licorice and marzipan. You have any actual food? She stares at me for a few moments. Yeah, I guess we could make room for food. Is milk food? It's a start. I use it on Monster cereal. How are you not diabetic? I'm not alive. I mean, fair. Let's see. Well, why do you call me dude? I think mortal is kind of cliche. Even if they're a woman? If you're mortal, you're a dude, at least to me. Other fairies use other terms. Fairies? How did you die if you don't mind me asking? I didn't. But you're a ghost. A fairy spirit. But you're not alive. Right. If you're not alive, but you're not dead, what are you? A fairy spirit. You could say I'm unborn if you want to get technical. I decided that's a conversation for another time. Quit my job? Why do you want me to quit my job? Besides the fact that it's slowly killing you? Sure. It eats into your time and stresses you out dealing with jerks when you could be doing stuff. Like? Don't you have any dreams you should be chasing? No, they're dead. Don't talk like that. Are my dreams important? Dreams are crazy important to us fairies. What am I gonna do for money in the meantime? Money's not important. It kinda is to us humans. It totally isn't. Money only has a value because humanity gives it value. Literally nobody and nothing else cares. Okay, but how am I gonna pay for food? Look, you need money. Look, if you need money, let me know. Got the stuff just lying around. Doesn't do me as much good. Except for buying ice cream, of course. I kinda wanna ask her more about that, but I have a feeling that's a conversation for another time. Why? What do you want me to move in? What would you get out of it? Maybe I like it. I like Yurie. Like, God, like, I like the way she thinks, and you know what? Like, the idea of moving in with a cute ghost, what? Heck not. I mean, she's not a ghost. She's a fae, a spirit fae. If that was the case, you would have just asked me earlier. She smirks. Fine, so despite all my power, guess what's the one thing I can't do? Scare me, drive a car, deal with banks, scare me? Smart aleck. I can't own property. I'm not immortal, which means I don't have paperwork. I used to haunt this abandoned place on Springbank Drive, but it was torn down. Scaring people away doesn't work if they just bulldoze the place. It's not like I can buy it off them. Impersonating a human only goes so far, and it falls apart as soon as people want crazy stuff like credit history. Some unseelie fae have just tried to kill people, but that just gets the place firebombed instead. You have any idea how hard it is to get property for hunting purposes? No, but then how did you get this place? Haunted real estate agency. What? Haunted real estate agency. Everything's in their name, with paperwork, nice, and human legal. There's a haunted real estate agency. Do you pay them money? Sometimes, but they rarely ask for it. Smart favors and contractual obligations. If I have a human on my own, though, you could own the deed instead, and I wouldn't need the agency anymore. With a legitimate living person to officially own the place, nobody will bulldoze my home out from under me again. Would the agency be okay with you getting out of your contract like that? Ah, yeah, it's encouraged. Something to do with improving human-fae relations. So why me? I can't scare you anymore. It could be that you're really special, but as far as I can tell, you're in such a dark place that I think you'll die if you don't. If you were just greedy, you'd still be scared of me. If you were just thrill-seeking, you'd still be scared of me. You were just ready to give up and die. I've never experienced life, and you were just gonna throw it all away. No fairy would just leave you like that. Not even the unseelie, and they sure as heck will kill people, but only if they still want to live. They'd only kill people they'd only kill people who didn't want to die? Unseelie fairies only kill people they've got beef with. They like their bad reputation, but they're not heartless. Dude, going out screaming is merciful compared to death by sorrow. The kind of hurt I see in you now is the kind of thing that would have utterly destroyed a fairy. But because you're mortal, your body is keeping you going even though you don't want to. I'm not just gonna stand by and let you get worse. I won't force you to stay, but I am offering and ask you to accept for your own sake. You know, I'll give her an answer. So I had to make a decision. I could live in a dark, cold hell world, or I could move in with a ghost. Not really much of a choice. Alright, I guess I could get used to all the ichor and creepiness and... What? No, you'd be living in the physical space of the house. I'm not using it that much. The spooky version is something I created to scare the absolute poo out of people. You were spirited away the moment you came through the front door. I mean, really, we're just gonna share the kitchen. I need some space for my ice cream. The physical space? Yurie shows me around. The house, the real house, is mostly empty and perfectly ordinary. Plenty of room for me. She really was just using the kitchen. I noticed a laptop during the tour. Is that yours? Oh yeah, I'll set you up with the Wi-Fi password once it's at... Wait, you tell me there's Wi-Fi? You tell me there's Wi-Fi? You have internet? Just because I'm a fairy ghost, you think I don't have internet access? Everyone does. How else was I going to start rumors that this place had treasure? And that is how I came to live in a house in a hell world. Huh. Well, that was oddly, I like that. Like, that was like oddly charming. I absolutely love that. But anyway, that was a house in hell world. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to play this for yourself, link to game will be in the description below. I did not expect that to be the ending. Like, frick, I had so much freaking fun with that. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.